Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita shloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 14, text 3. And if anyone needs to go first, please raise your hand. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Arun,
Krishna.
we'll do it little later.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonir mahadbrahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavaha sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharat.
Okay. Next, Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of birth. Others are not available.
Okay. Isha.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance, called Brahman, is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Krishna Shish.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Madhava.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings here. Beings, what's of Bharata.
Rasapriya.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Okay. Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. All glory to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mama yonirmahad Brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Translation. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Medha is not here much.
Okay. Okay. So anyone else? Arunita is ready?
No, Mataji.
Okay. I'll recite. मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Achyut Priya Arundhati Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, Darshan Panchamarma.
Dandavat
All the
Prabhu.
rest of Vyasambala.
Jai Shri
Yes.
Prabhupada.
Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma, Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham, Sambhavaha Sarvabhutanam, Tato Bhavati Bharata. Translation The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is the Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, and Text 2. So we read Text 1 yesterday. What did we read in Text 1? Sukadev Goswami actually Parikshit Maharaj is speaking to Sukadev Goswami. So what did Parikshit Maharaj say? That my dear Sukadev Goswami, you have described the wonderful character of the descendants of the moon and sun dynasties. Of descendants means the kings who have appeared in the moon and sun dynasties, right? King Parikshit said, my dear Lord, you have elaborately described the dynasties of both the moon god and the sun god with the exalted and wonderful character of their kings. And then we discussed the purport also. So why Parikshit Maharaj is saying Soma Surya Yoho, why moon is discussed first. That is one point we that was discussed while discussing the purport. And the other thing is okay, so the word Vrindavan is discussed. That was actually from the last verse of the previous chapter. So connecting the previous chapter with this chapter. So so this we discussed, see, 9:24:66. So the description of Vrindavan will be, just the word Vrindavan was given, but it will be discussed in much detail in the 10th canto, like that. So now the next verse. Okay, so what was the previous verse? Parikshit Maharaj said, you have elaborately described the dynasties coming from the sun god and moon god, and also you have discussed the character of the kings who appeared in these dynasties, and their character is Parama Adbhutam, is supremely wonderful, like that, of all the kings who appeared in these dynasties. The next verse. So today is Madhava's turn. Madhava and Rasapriya. Yadoscha dharmashilasya nitaram muni sattama tatram shenavatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsanaha.
O best of munis, they have also described the descendants of Yadu, who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. Now, if you will kindly describe the wonderful glorious activity of Lord Vishnu, or Krishna, who appeared in the Hindu dynasty with Baladev, his spiritual expansion.
If you remember, when we discussed the 9th canto, um, and even if you look at the charts that are given at the end of the Bhagavatam book, there is the Surya Vamsa, there's a chart for the Surya Vamsa, there is a chart for the Moon dynasty, and there is a separate chart for the Yadu dynasty. So Yadu is a king who appeared within the Moon dynasty, but specifically the Yadu dynasty is discussed separately also. Okay, so in the first verse, Parikshit Maharaj said, you have discussed nicely the Moon and Sun dynasties, and along with the supremely wonderful character of the kings that appeared in those dynasties. And now, in this verse, he's saying, O best of the Munis, you have also described the descendants of Yadu. So not only have you described the descendants of Moon dynasty and Sun dynasty, but you have also described the descendants of Yadu dynasty, all the descendants, right? We discussed about Vrishni and Mahabhoja, so many we discussed, right? Yeah. So the Yadu dynasty itself is discussed nicely. Ugrasena's children and Devaka's children, then Shurasena's children, and the sons of his children, the daughters and their children, like that. The whole Yadu dynasty, Yadu Vamsa was also discussed. So you have also described the descendants of Yadu who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. So if you want to look at the verse, Yadoscha Dharmashilasya. Yadoscha. So you have discussed the dynasties of Soma Surya Yoho, of Soma and of Surya, dynasties coming from Soma and of Surya, and Cha means also Yadus, Yadoscha, also the kings or the dynasties coming from Yadu, you have discussed. And these Yadus who are Dharmashilasya. Dharmashilasya means very strictly adhering to Dharma. Nitaram Muni Sattamaha, Nitaram Muni Sattama. So these Yadus were all highly qualified and they strictly were adherent to religious principles. Oh, best of, and Muni Sattama means what? Muni Sattama. Sattama is a superlative degree. You have positive, comparative, and superlative. So in Sanskrit, you have Sat, Sattara, and Sattama. Sat means a devotee. Sattara means a better devotee. Sattama means the best devotee. So Muni Sattama, who's speaking here? Parikshit Maharaj is speaking. Who is he addressing to? He's addressing Sukadev Goswami. So therefore Muni Sattama refers to Sukadev Goswami. So Muni means Sarvagyaha, one who knows everything, the knower of everything. And Sattama means the best of the devotees. So Parikshit Maharaj is speaking to Sukadev Goswami, and he's saying, you have described the dynasties coming from Moon, from Sun, and also the Yadus, who were Dharmashilasya, strictly adherent to religious principles. And they were all highly qualified. Nitaram, Muni Sattama, Muni Sattama, Sukadev Goswami, who is the best of devotees and who is all knowing, like that. O best of Munis, you have also described the descendants of Yadu, who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. Then, now if you will kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladev, his plenary expansion. So, the second two lines are saying, Tatram Shenavatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsanaha. So that I will explain after some time. Let's read the purport first. So please explain. So in essence, what's happening here is Parikshit Maharaj is encouraging Sukadev Goswami, right? He's showing his eagerness. He's showing Sukadev Goswami that he has been attentively hearing. See, in today's world, you will say reflections, right? His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, whenever he gives class, at the end he says, please give some reflections. Reflections means whatever you have heard, whatever you have to explain it in your words, or you can just like light reflects, right? So mirror also gives you a reflection. So whatever you are, it just shows back, right? So whatever you have heard, whatever you understood, you have to present it. So if you give a reflection like that, then that will encourage the speaker. The speaker becomes encouraged to speak more, knowing that the audience is actually receptive, they are actually grasping what he's saying. So Parikshit Maharaj is telling Sukadev Goswami, yes, you have nicely described, all these, the whole, so far you have described these dynasties and their kings, and their characters are so glorious. Thank you so much. But now I want to hear, within the Yadu dynasty, Krishna and Balaram appeared. I want to hear about their activities. Please describe them. Again, Vistarat. Vistarat means elaborately. Okay, very in detail. In other words, you explained only in 2 verses before. Now please explain it in detail, like that. So this is the meaning. Let's read the purport now. Rasapriya purport.
The Brahma Samhita 5.1 explains that Krishna is the origin of the Vishnu Tattva. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anajaraja Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the supreme God of all causes.
You want to recite? Yasyai kanishvasita kalam athavalambya. No? Jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanaatha. Vishnurmahan sa ihayasya kala vishesho. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
The Brahmas, the heads of the innumerable universes, live only for the duration of one breath of Mahavishnu. I worship Govinda, the original Lord, of whom Mahavishnu is but a portion of a plenary portion. Brahma Samhita 5.48. Govinda, Krishna, is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. Even Lord Mahavishnu, who by his breathing creates many millions upon millions of universes, is Lord Krishna's Kala Visesa, or plenary portion of a plenary portion. Mahavishnu is a plenary expansion of Sankarshan, who is a plenary expansion of Narayan. Narayan is a plenary expansion of the Chaturvyuha, and the Chaturvyuha are plenary expansions of Baladev, the first manifestation of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna appeared with Baladev, all the Vishnu Tattvas appeared with him.
Okay. Oh, yeah, just finished the last one.
Maharaj Pariksit requested Sukadev Goswami to describe Krishna and his glorious activities. Another meaning may be derived from this verse as follows. Although Sukadev Goswami was the greatest Muni, he could describe Krishna only partially. Amshena. For no one can describe Krishna fully. It is said that Anantadev has thousands of heads, but although he tries to describe Krishna with thousands of tongues, his descriptions are still incomplete.
Thank you. Okay, so now we'll have to look at the verse to understand the purport. First point. So this Muni Sattama, the purpose of Parikshit Maharaj is addressing Sukadev Goswami as Muni Sattama is, what is Parikshit Maharaj asking here? He wants Sukadev Goswami to speak Krishna Leela. Okay? And he's calling Sukadev Goswami Muni Sattama. So there are two in Muni Sattama. One is all-knowing, one who is all-knowing. Muni means one who is all-knowing. That means he knows everything. He knows everything. Karma, jnana, yoga, everything. Plus, he's Sattama. He's a devotee. What type of a devotee? He's the best devotee. He's the best devotee. So what can you expect from a person who is all-knowing, who knows everything, and is also the best devotee? What can you expect from such a person? He is qualified to establish bhakti as the supreme path. How is he able to establish? Because he knows everything. He knows everything. See, it's like, who will be able to for you to be able to convince another person about the best thing, you should also be conversant with the fake things, those which are not the best, those which are secondary and tertiary. Because you can compare the best with others and show how this is actually the best. That was the whole idea when we were discussing the different types of bhakti, right? The idea of discussing all different types of bhakti. Only one bhakti is desirable. What is that? Ananya bhakti is desirable. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam. This is only the desired bhakti. But at the same time, our acharyas have explained so many types of bhakti, mixed bhakti, mishra bhakti, right? And then aropa siddha bhakti, karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, karma jnana mishra bhakti, swarup siddha bhakti. Then you have rajasika, tamasika, and satvika bhaktis. So many varieties of bhaktis have been described. But what is the desirable one? The desirable one is Bhakti Matra Kama, Nirguna Bhakti. That is the pure devotional service. That is desirable. Then why? What is the purpose of discussing all the other types? When you are knowledgeable about all the other types, you will not be cheated. No one will be able to cheat you, showing you something else and saying that this is pure devotion. If you don't know all these other things, if you only talk about pure devotional service, in your vision there's only pure devotional service, then anything you see you'll think this is pure devotional service, because you're not educated about what is not pure devotional service. So actually uh, a successful devotee is he who knows not only what is to be done but also what is not to be done. He should know what is the desirable thing, but he also should know, he should have knowledge about what is the undesirable thing. So that is an advantage actually for a devotee. That's an advantage. That is why Even when we are studying about, we studied the first 9 cantos. What did we start studying first? First 2 chapters, 3 chapters, what were we studying? Cantos. We were reading about creation. Creation means this material world. We didn't directly jump to Krishna's pastimes. First, we read about this material world, material creation. How does it take place? So that is also essential. And then seeing the connection of this material world didn't just happen from, it just didn't drop from somewhere. It is actually coming from the Supreme Lord, seeing the connection. And gradually we have come to discussing Krishna's pastimes. That means it's also important to understand this creation, material creation. It's not that simply we should discuss, Krishna's pastimes. Especially for those who have not yet developed their faith, it is very important. Those who study Srishti Leelas, that will build their faith in Krishna. So anyway, so here also Muni Sattama, the significance of Muni Sattama is he knows everything and he is the topmost devotee. So now he can very nicely establish bhakti as the highest, because he knows he's the best devotee. He knows the value of bhakti, but he's also aware of other things. So very nicely he can establish. Only he can establish. Others won't be able to establish. So by addressing Sukadeva Goswami as Muni Sattama, Parikshit Maharaj is asking him, please establish this bhakti as the supreme, like that. Then, so you have also discussed the kings coming in the Yadu dynasty, O Muni Sattama. Then this part is important. Tatra means we are talking about the Yadus. So Tatra means Yadus or Yadu Vamsa. Tatra Amshena Avatirnasya. Tatra in Yadu dynasty, Amshena Avatirnasya. Amsha, a part, a portion. Avatirnasya, descended. Vishnor means Lord Vishnu. Viryani means glories. Samsha, please describe. Naha, unto us. Okay? Tatra amshenavatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Samshanaha. Shamsanaha. So this can be interpreted in, not can be, it is interpreted in 3 different ways. The first interpretation should not be accepted, and second and third interpretations are desirable. All this is actually, this is said in the purport. I'm just opening it up and explaining it to you. So the first interpretation would be Tatra Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsanaha. In Yaduvamsha, Vishnu's Amsha has appeared. Okay? Tatra Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnor. Vishnor means of Vishnu. Vishnu's Amsha has appeared in Yaduvamsha. His Viryani, his glories, please describe to us. What does this establish? This type of interpretation of this verse will say is giving what meaning? Vishnu's Amsha, of Vishnu means Vishnu's or of Vishnu. Vishnu's Amsha appeared in Yaduvamsa. Please describe his glories to us. What is this saying? If you are following it. You're not following what I said?
Is he talking about Lord Balram, Vishnu's Amsa?
No, we are talking about Krishna only. Krishna and Balram, okay, either way. So, Vishnu's Amsha, so it is saying that Krishna is Vishnu's Amsha, correct? Isn't that the meaning we are getting? That Vishnu's Amsha Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty. Please tell me about his activities. So this is saying that Krishna is Amsha of Vishnu. Is this correct? Is Krishna a portion, an Amsha of Vishnu? Is that right?
No, Mataji.
No. But this meaning is coming like this. Then how to rectify that? So that's why we should not take that meaning. So other sampradayas, they may take it like that. That Krishna, see in Bhagavatam also it is said, because we say Bhagavatam is the highest pramana, isn't it? We say Bhagavatam is the topmost pramana. This is established by Srila Jiva Goswami in Tattva Sandarbha. Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest pramana. That means anything which is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is final. Even if there are statements against the statements contrary to the statements of Bhagavatam in other Puranas, other places, Bhagavatam's statement overrules all other statements. You must accept Bhagavatam. That is the final. Like that. Now within Bhagavatam, if in one place, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 3rd chapter, 28th verse, Ete cham sakala pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam. Krishna is the original. And Ete cham sakala pumsaha. So whatever incarnations we have mentioned, they are coming from Pumsaha means Purushavasaras. They are the expansions of Purushavasaras. Ete chamsa kala Pumsaha. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is the avatari from whom everyone else is coming. Krishna is also listed there. But even though Krishna is listed amongst all these avatars, he is Swayam Bhagavan from whom everyone else is coming, even the Purushavasaras, everyone come from him. Like that is it is said there. And in this verse now we are seeing that Krishna is a portion of Vishnu. So how to solve this? The way to solve this is that verse 1328 Srimad Bhagavatam is called Paribhasha Sutram. Paribhasha Sutram means it is the guiding light for the entire book of Srimad Bhagavatam. That means wherever that statement, whenever a statement contrary to that appears anywhere in the book, you should take a secondary meaning to that and apply only the Paribhasha Sutram. That means Paribhasha Sutram has so much power, it has the authority that statement of Paribhasha Sutram holds true throughout the book, wherever. If you find any statement which is contrary, which is going against the Paribhasha Sutram, then Paribhasha Sutram should be accepted, not the contrary statement. So therefore, even though here, if you just took the Sanskrit translation directly, the statement appears that Parikshit Maharaj is saying to Sukadev Goswami, my dear Sukadev Goswami, please describe the activities, glorious activities of him who appeared in Yadu dynasty as a portion of Vishnu. Okay? But we cannot take this statement. Why? Because this statement is going against the Paribhasha Sutram. Therefore, we cannot take this statement. We cannot take this interpretation. This cannot be accepted as it is going against the Paribhasha Sutram. Then what should we do? So the acharyas take a secondary meaning. That means you don't take the meaning as is, because Sanskrit language is such that the same sentence can be translated in different ways or interpreted in different ways. How you break those words, sentences, and you can make different meanings. So then what is the other meaning we should take? So the other meaning would be, again, Tatra means in Yaduvamsha. Tatra amshena avatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsana. Shamsana means please describe to us. Viryani means the activities. These three remain the same as it is. And Tatra also remains the same. Tatra means in Yaduvamsha. Now, how to understand Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnoho? Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnoho. That means Tatra Avatirnasya. Please tell me about the Viryani. Okay, Viryani means glorious activities. Viryani Shamsanaha. Please tell me about the glorious activities of him who appeared in Yaduvamsa. Okay, Avatirnasya. Avatirnasya means appeared. Of him who appeared where? In Yaduvamsa, Tatra. Whose Amsha is Vishnu. You're following? Okay, please give me some indications that you're understanding or not. Okay, one more time I'll say this, the interpretation which we can accept, the correct interpretation. Please tell me, Parikshit Maharaj is telling, please tell me about the glorious activities of him who appeared, not Vishnu here, who appeared in Yaduvamsa, whose Amsha is Vishnu. Then, what is this saying? Tell me about Krishna who appeared in Yaduvamsa, whose Amsha, whose portion is Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha. This is okay, right? According to this, Vishnu is the portion of Krishna. So this is not going against Paribhasha Sutram. Is that okay? Clear? So that is one interpretation. And there's a second correct interpretation. Srila Prabhupada talks about that also in the purport. When I read the purport again after this, then you will understand. The second interpretation is, thank you, Sajanimati. The second interpretation is, Tatra Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsanaha. Third interpretation is here Vishnu. Vishnu means you have to take as Vishnu means Krishna only, not Vishnu of Vaikuntha. Krishna has many names, so one of the name of Krishna is Vishnu, like that. Tell me, O Sukadeva Goswami, tell me about the Viryani, the glorious activities of Vishnu. Okay? Tell me about the glorious activities of Vishnu who appeared in Yaduvamsa. Amshena. Amshena means here, Amsha means tell me a portion of his activities. Okay? Here this Amsha is not referring to a portion of Krishna or portion of Vishnu. No, no. Here portion refers to the description of his activities. Please tell me about the glorious activities of Vishnu who appeared in Yaduvamsa. Please tell me about the glorious activities of Vishnu who appeared in Yaduvamsa. Okay, I'll say that again. Please tell me a portion. Please tell me a portion of the glorious activities of Vishnu who appeared in Yaduvamsa. Okay. Why a portion? You may say, why you are asking for a portion? So, if you remember, previously, why Parikshit Maharaj is feeling, at the end of 9th canto, the last two verses, in just two verses, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, in only two verses, he told the entire Krishna Leela. 2 sentences there and 2 sentences here. In 4 sentences, he completed entire Krishna Leela. From his appearance until his disappearance, everything is covered there in 4 lines. Parikshit Maharaj is completely, what is this? Right? He was so eagerly waiting to hear Krishna Leela. In 4 lines, it is finished. Right? So therefore, he wants to hear more. So that is Parikshit Maharaj's, that's his condition. So here, when Parikshit Maharaj is saying, why he is saying, please tell me a portion of his activities. Why he is saying, please tell me a portion of his activities? Because Krishna's activities are so unlimited. It is not possible for anyone to talk about all the pastimes of Krishna. We read already Anantasesh. Anantasesh has 1,000 heads. With each of his head, he is glorifying a different pastime of the Supreme Lord. And since when he is describing? Since the beginning of creation. Since the beginning of creation, continuously he is speaking. With each mouth he is describing a different pastime of the Lord. And he never stopped. And to this day, he has not come to the end of the pastimes of the Lord. He is continuously speaking, and there is no limit. So how is it possible for one person to speak everything about the Supreme Lord? It's not possible because it is unlimited. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, please speak a portion. Please speak a portion of Krishna's pastimes. Now here, you'll see the rasa of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes here that when Parikshit Maharaj said that please speak a portion, so then Sukadev Goswami may say, oh, you want me to speak a portion of Krishna's pastimes? But I did that already. Isn't it? I did already.
4 lines.
4 lines. Portion I spoke already. So then, okay, that will come in the next verse. That we will discuss in the next verse. But now I will read the purport. So you will, now when I read the purport, you will see the connections. Okay. O best of Munis, translation. You have also described the descendants of Yadu who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. Now, if you will, kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. That's the third interpretation. Vishnu means you should take it as Krishna. Describe the glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladev, his plenary expansion. So this is what Prabhuji was saying. So here, Amsha means you take it as Baladev. That's what Srila Prabhupada has explained. One thing I want to point out here is that there are many commentaries on the 10th canto, on Srimad Bhagavatam also, entire Srimad Bhagavatam, but specifically the 10th canto has been commented upon by different acharyas, all, great acharyas. So, but it's not that all commentaries will be exactly the same. No. And they have that freedom, just like we saw. The same line can be interpreted in 3 different ways. I mean, here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, he himself is interpreting in 3 different ways. And it is not that when a sentence is written, it should have only one meaning. No, this is transcendental literature. It just shows the glory of Bhagavatam from different angles. You can look at the same thing from different angles, and it will just give you different mellows, different tastes from the same. So the way it is explained is these acharyas, they're actually tasting each and every letter of this Bhagavatam, especially the 10th canto, each and every letter, alphabet, they're tasting. It's like a grain. You have sweet rice, made of rice, sweet rice. So every grain, one who is Rasika, who knows how to taste, he will taste every grain. So these acharyas are like that. They're tasting each and every letter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So they comment in so many different ways, bringing out the rasa from this, from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 10th canto especially. So therefore, it's possible, and it happens also all the time, that there are different explanations, different interpretations. Don't think that one is right and one is wrong. No, they're all right. Each one is bringing out a different, rasa, a different taste out. It's highlighting a particular taste of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here in Srila Prabhupada's translation we are seeing, so obviously Srila Prabhupada also takes from different acharyas. So what I explained to you is from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, those three interpretations. Here Srila Prabhupada is also giving another meaning, that Amsha means Baladev. So Tatra Amshena Avatirnasya Vishnor Viryani Shamsanaha. So Srila Prabhupada is saying in the translation that kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladev, his plenary expansion. So Vishnu is taken as, or Amsha. Amsha is taken as Baladev. Okay, Amsha, Amshena. So he appeared with his Amsha. That's how Srila Prabhupada is explaining the meaning. Okay, so let's read the purport now. So in Brahma Samhita we see Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. That's the point. Okay, he has no origin, he is the original origin. Why is this explained? Because in our first interpretation we saw that interpretation tells us that Krishna is an Amsha of Vishnu. First interpretation we saw Krishna is Amsha of Vishnu. But that is not, we cannot accept that. In Brahma Samhita we see Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of everyone, everything. So Krishna is original. So therefore, the first interpretation we cannot take. So you see why Srila Prabhupada is quoting this verse here. Krishna has no other origin. He cannot be a portion of someone else. Rather, he is the origin of all other portions. He is the prime cause of all causes. So therefore, we cannot take the first interpretation. Another verse from Brahma Samhita tells us that the Brahmas, the heads of the... go ahead, Mataji. Please recite.
నిశ్వసిత కలం అతావలంబ్య జీవంతి లోమ విరజ జగదండనాథ విష్ణోర్మహాన్ స ఇహ యస్య కళావిశేషో గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
Yes. So this means that the Brahmas, the heads of the innumerable universes, live only for the duration of one breath of Mahavishnu. That's the time of the entire creation. One breath. One exhalation, to be more precise. When he exhales, the creation is, it starts and it's maintained. And when he inhales, finished. It's wound up. And that is the life of Brahma. One breath is the duration of the life of Brahma. I worship Govinda, of whom Mahavishnu is only a portion of a plenary portion. Kala. Kala means what? Amsha and Kala. Amsha means a plenary portion. A portion of the plenary portion is called Kala. So Mahavishnu is a Kala of Govinda. Is a portion of the portion. So again here also we see, and this Mahavishnu, his one breath, when he exhales, The duration of his one breath is the lifespan of innumerable Brahmas or Brahmas of innumerable universes. One breath. That's how great is Mahavishnu. And this Mahavishnu is one kala of Govinda. So what does this tell us? That Krishna is not a portion of Vishnu. Rather, Vishnu is a portion of Krishna. Yes, this is very clear from Brahma Samhita. And also, Govinda Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That is from 1.3.28. Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa. That also proves, that's the Paribhasha Sutram. That also proves that Krishna is the original person. So how many verses you have? If you are ever challenged, who is sometimes you may be challenged. No, Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. Krishna is not the original. Then you'll have to show from Shastra. Which verses will you quote? From Brahma Samhita you quote Ishvara Parama Krishna. Then it says Sarva Karana Karanam. Then about Mahavishnu it is said Yasyaika Nishvasita Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Jagada Jivanti Loma
Yadandanada.
Vilaja Jagadandanatha
Yadandanada.
Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya Kala Visheshu. So that verse also is telling you that Mahavishnu is a kala of Krishna. Okay, 2 verses. And then of course you have the Paribhasha Sutram from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28. Ete chamsa kala pumsaha Krishnastu. But Krishna is, right? Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So like this. So if you are ever challenged, you can quote these 3 verses from, Srila Prabhupada's purports. Next. Even Lord Mahavishnu, who by his breathing creates many millions upon millions of universes, is Lord Krishna's Kala Vishesha or plenary portion of a plenary portion. Mahavishnu is a plenary expansion of Sankarshan, who is a plenary expansion of Narayan. Narayan is a plenary expansion of Chaturvyuha. Chaturvyuha are plenary expansions of Baladev, the first manifestation of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna appeared with Baladev, all the Vishnu Tattvas appeared with him. They are all his. So here, when you say Amshas, it is said Amshas means all Vishnus. That's our second explanation, isn't it? Krishna, whose expansion or whose Kala, whose Amsha is Vishnu, like that. Okay? So when Krishna appears, because he is the original, all other expansions will be there with him. Maharaj Parikshit requested Sukadeva, and then this is the third interpretation which I told you. Maharaj Parikshit requested Sukadeva Goswami to describe Krishna and his glorious activities. Another meaning may be derived from this verse as follows. Although Sukadeva Goswami was the greatest Muni, he could describe Krishna only partially. Why? It's not the disqualification of Sukadeva Goswami. This is the greatness of Krishna. He is unlimited. It's not possible for anyone to describe him completely. Even Krishna's own expansion, Anantasesh is not able to describe. What to speak of anyone else? So, even though you are Muni, still it's not possible. So please describe Amshena, a portion of Krishna's pastimes. For no one can describe Krishna fully. It is said that Anantadev has thousands of heads, but although he tries to describe Krishna with thousands of tongues, his descriptions are still incomplete. So, is that clear? This verse? Is this speed okay? If you want, I can just quickly go over only with the purports. But if you like, we can discuss it like this also with the commentary. So whatever you prefer. But this is how long it's going to take. We did 1 verse today. That's all. No comments. Okay.
No, explaining properly is important, Mataji.
So it's okay like this?
Yes,
I mean,
Mataji.
I should not lose your attention. I mean, sometimes if it's just going above your head and if you're not, then it's better to just, do it in a simple way. If you are able to grasp it and if you think it's fine, if you're able to follow it, then it's good. We can do it like this.
Yes, Mataji, here we are generally advanced, little bit advanced than the basics, so we are good.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we will do Srimad. So this was, we discussed one verse today, one yesterday and one today. I mean, when the pastime comes, we may go faster, but this is the initial verses, so Tattva has to be established also. So according to the commentary, we'll go with the speed. So today we will stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here, and let's read Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita, so that I will let you all go on time. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2. I thought we were doing text 8, but yesterday I saw text 7 as the bookmark. Let me see. See? Says 10. Anyway. I think we studied this, misers. I think we completed text 7. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Right? One needs a spiritual master. I think we finished this. We'll read text 8. And I think we also read the shloka, but we'll do it again. Please repeat. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad yacchokamuchchoshanamindriyanam avapya bhumav asapatnam riddham Rajyam Suranam Apichadhipatyam. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Yes. So Arjuna is saying, after surrendering himself to Krishna as a disciple, again here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when Arjun said, now I become your disciple, so then Krishna might say, you're going to become my disciple? Why you want to be my disciple? We are friends, right? Or we are cousins. Why you want to be my disciple? Like that, Krishna can question. And then Krishna may even suggest, if you want to become a disciple, you should become disciple of, Vyasdev, your grandfather, or you can become a disciple of Brihaspati. There are such great gurus. You can become disciples of such great rishis and gurus. Why you want to become my disciple? I'm just your brother, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend, like that. Then Arjun is saying, no. What to speak of Vyasdev, Brihaspati? Nobody in the entire creation will be able to solve my problem, right? I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. Actually, Krishna might say that why you're taking such a, why are you worrying so much? All you have to do is just fight, right? You fight, and you're worried about this grief, right? When you fight and when you win the kingdom and when you enjoy, what will happen when you enjoy? Sometimes you do that, right? Let's say you are in pain, right? Your stomach is hurting or something. What do? You try to distract your attention, right? Maybe you uh, listen to some music or watch something on the television or something, or sometimes do something which distracts your attention. Basically take some enjoyment. Materially, that's what people do. They try to get some sense gratification, and through that they try to forget the grief. And they temporarily, what about intoxication? Same thing. When people are, depressed, what do? They take some intoxication. And it's like some type of enjoyment. And then by that, now there is no grief. So Arjun, why you're worrying so much about this grief and all that? You just fight, you win the kingdom, you enjoy the kingdom, the grief will go away automatically. You don't have to worry. Like that, Krishna may say. So Arjun in answer is saying, what to speak of getting a kingdom here on this earth? Even if I got an unrivaled kingdom, which is, equivalent to the kingdom of the demigods in heaven, not just this earthly kingdom, even if I got the heavenly kingdom, still that enjoyment is not going to drive away my grief. This grief is not an ordinary thing. It's not going to go away. No matter what I get, no matter how much I enjoy, this grief won't go. This is drying up my senses. So who will solve this? Right? Only you can solve. That he'll tell in the next one. So I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although Arjun was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna. This is the thing, this is the crux actually. If you want to solve your problem, you need a spiritual master, right? That's why Arjun is putting himself in the position of a disciple. Argument's sake, you can argue. You can go on arguing forever. But even you may feel like you are getting the upper hand in the argument, but that does not mean your problem is solved. Arjun is arguing with Krishna in so many ways. He's saying, no, he's giving reasons why he should not fight. And then he's confused. I don't know what to do. Should I fight or should I not fight? What is his problem to begin with? When he saw his family members on the other side, what he was experiencing pain and grief in his heart. So throughout this discussion, argument, debate which he was having with Krishna, that pain was still there. Okay, if Arjuna is thinking I should not fight, then don't fight. But even if I didn't fight, still this pain is not going away. That's his problem. Who can solve this? Only a spiritual master. In this case, it's Krishna himself, or someone who is a representative of Krishna, can only drive away this grief. That's the point. So to solve the real problem is not possible without the help of the spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence. And it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Yes? Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is the bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is the real spiritual master. Kiba vipra kibanyasi shudra kene noi, jai Krishna tattvaveta sei guru hoy. Right? Whether he is vipra, brahmana, or he is a sannyasi, or he may be a shudra, it does not matter. Only if he is the knower of the tattva of Krishna, he knows Krishna in truth, if he knows Krishna in truth, regardless of whether he is a sannyasi, brahmana, shudra, or even mlecha, chandala, it does not matter. You must accept him as guru if he knows the science of Krishna. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement. It does not matter whether a person is a Vipra, learned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in a lower family, or is in the renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is the perfect and bona fide spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 128. So without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. Without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Shatkarma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnavo guru nasyad vaishnavashvapacho guruhu. Yes. Now, one may be an expert Brahmana. He may be expert in reciting mantras and doing, tantras. But he is not a Vaishnava. He is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord. You cannot accept such a person as Guru simply because he is a perfect Brahmana and he takes 3 baths a day. He chants Gayatri 3 times a day. He chants mantras very expertly. That's not the qualification to be a Guru. If he is not a Vaishnava, he cannot be a Guru. Avaishnava Guru Nasyad. Vaishnava Shvapacho Guru. And if he is a Vaishnava, if he is a devotee of the Lord, even if he is from a dog eater's family, he is a Guru. So what is the qualification to be a Guru? He has to be a devotee of the Lord. And devotee of the Lord means he should know the science of Krishna in truth. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. This is from Padma Purana. The problems of material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death, cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. Unfortunately, this is what everyone runs after. We feel that if we have wealth and assets, then that is my security. But these things cannot save us from old age, disease, or death. And birth, again, repeated birth. They cannot save us. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed, yet the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna, through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they are telling us the science of Krishna. But you have to hear the science of Krishna from a bona fide representative of Krishna. If economic development and material comforts could drive away one's lamentations for family, social, national, or international inebrities, then Arjun would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentations, right? If wealth could drive away your problems, your lamentations, why would Arjun say, even if I got the heavenly kingdom, still I won't be able to drive away? That means economic development and wealth is not sufficient to drive away our problems. He sought, therefore, refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the cataclysms of material nature. Yes. Even elevation into a higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet or currently Mars planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest status of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more causes for lamentation. Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna as Arjun is seeking to do. So Arjun asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. So bottom line is, every single person in material existence will face problems in life, and those problems cannot be solved by material means, by any amount of wealth, any amount of sense gratification, or whatever else, position, name, fame, education. They cannot solve the problems. What will solve the problems? Surrendering to a spiritual master, coming in a bona fide disciplic succession from Krishna, or a spiritual master who knows the science of Krishna. Such a person can solve our problems. So Arjun is doing the right thing. What is Arjun doing? He's surrendering to Krishna. So if we want to solve our problems, that's what we should do. Surrender to Krishna. And another important point, in this Kali Yuga, Krishna has descended in the form of his holy name. So when you say surrender to Krishna, it means surrendering to the holy name. When we surrender to the holy name, then you are with Krishna, Krishna is with you. No more problems. So now we'll read Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. So there was an article about.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, one request, if that is possible, I mean, whenever you have time, if you can send in to me or in the group, real, like there are many logic which we have to give to prove people that Krishna is the supreme, like you discussed 3 points today from Prabhupada's purport. The same way, there are other points also from different verses from Bhagavatam or other places. If you can, because I don't remember all of them when time comes. So if you can just share like point by point, we all can actually memorize that, because we in our life face that problem multiple times. So that way we keep on reading and we keep on, fine tuning that.
About Krishna is that's the point
Supreme.
you're asking?
Yes.
About
Krishna
that?
is the supreme. All the incarnations are coming from him. The main fight which we get is from that. Or even Brahma Jyoti is not the, like people think that, oh, the light is the main thing, So they refute that Krishna is the main and his light is Brahma Jyoti. So, like that's the main point, that Krishna is the original. So if we get different points, all the points accumulated together, then like we can keep on reading it, keep on learning it, remembering it. That way, when always we face this problem, some people or the other, so we will immediately remember all these points, because I face the same problem. When actual problem comes, that person comes, I can only remember 1 or 2. Even if I remember 1 or 2, that day is a very good day for me.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's fine too. I mean, but for now, just remember these 3, and then as in when we come across more, keep adding to that. I think that's the best way. Instead of just accumulating everything, it will just see, when we discuss in class like this, it kind of gets registered. It's there. But just like that, if you get the whole article, it may not stay there in your head all the time. So I would suggest, and especially with our lives now, I don't think we spend time sitting and studying, do we? I don't know. But whatever we discuss here, these 3, just for now, immediately you keep it there. right? Store it
Yeah, I
down.
will note down these three. So whenever you get any points, just let me know. That way,
Reiterate them.
I
Okay, yeah.
can. Or if one of the kids can, compile that. I mean, I will read it. I promise I will read it, because I am facing this problem even with my sister. She will believe something else, and then there will be a verbal fight between me and her. But then explaining, giving a scriptural evidence, I don't know how much it is going to help, but at
Yeah,
least I can give, that
yeah.
will satisfy me.
Okay. Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Sure.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's read Leelamrita also quickly, and then I'll let you go. So there's an article about Srila Prabhupada, which was written by Howard Smith. I think that's Hayagriva Prabhu. But yeah, about, see this one. The meeting of the mystical West and practical East comes alive in the curious contrast between A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, like that. So he wrote an article. So we read that before. So now what is Howard Smith saying? So I went down there and went upstairs into this very funky artist's loft. There were carpets all over the place, old and worn out, and a lot of people sitting around in various kinds of hippie garb, plus what I think they must have thought was Indian garb. Most of them were sitting alone around the room, facing the wall, like they had nothing to do with each other. They were sitting cross legged, and each one seemed to be doing something different. Nobody paid any attention to me when I walked in. I saw shoes lined up, and I thought maybe I'm supposed to take off my shoes. But nobody said anything to me. So I walked around the edge of the carpet looking for somebody to pay attention to me. I wondered what was going on, and I didn't want to interrupt anybody because they all seemed deep into whatever kind of prayers they were doing. In the back of the loft, I noticed a little curtain, an Indian Madras type of curtain, and so I decided I'd peer into that area. I looked in, and there was Swami Bhaktivedanta sitting there, cross legged, in saffron garments, with the markings on his forehead and nose, and his hand in the bead bag. Even though he looked like the real thing, he seemed more approachable. And I said, "Hello." And he looked up. I said, "Swami Bhaktivedanta?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "I'm Howard Smith." I was expecting to sit down, so I said, "Excuse me, I have to take off my shoes?" And he said, "Why do you want to take off your shoes?" I said, "I don't know. I saw all the shoes out there." And he said, "I didn't ask you to take your shoes off." I said, "What are all those people out there doing?" And he said, "I don't know. And they don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to teach them, and they seem to be misunderstanding me. They are very confused people." Then we sat and talked, and I liked him a lot right away. I mean, I'd met a lot of other Swamis, and I didn't like them too much. And I don't think it's fair to lump them all together and say, those Swamis in India, because he was very, very basic, and that's what I seemed to like about him. He not only made me feel at ease, but he seemed very open and honest, like he asked my advice on things. He was very new in the country. I thought his ideas stood a good chance of taking hold because he seemed so practical. His head didn't seem in the clouds. He wasn't talking mysticism every third word. I guess that it is where his soul was at, but that isn't where his normal conversational consciousness was at. Then he said several people had told him that the voice would be a very good place to be written up, and that basically it would reach the kind of people who already perhaps had a leaning or interest in what he was preaching. And I said that I thought he was correct. He asked me if I had read any books or knew anything about Indian culture. And I said, no, I didn't really. We talked a little, and he explained to me that he had these books in English that he had already translated in India, and he handed those to me and said, if you want more background, you can read these. It was obvious to me that I was not talking to some fellow who had just decided that he had seen God and was going to tell people about it. He seemed to be an educated man, much more than myself, actually. And I liked his humbleness. I just plain liked the guy. He explained everything I wanted to know, the significance of what he was wearing, the mark on his forehead, the bead bag, and I liked all his explanations. Everything was very practical. Then he talked about temples all over the world, and he said, well, we have got a long way to go, but I am very patient. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. I will see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.